Hey, family, how you all doing tonight? You know, the expression, how you doing, or as Wendy Williams would say, how y'all doing? It really has a new meaning these days. It does. Because people are going through it. And a lot of people got through the first outbreak of this coronavirus. We were all shocked by it. You know, the unemployment kicked in. You know, some of the employers were able to furlough people and let people work from home. And we felt like we got through it, right? That we managed to deal with that. But now, you know, we're talking about a second outbreak in the first wave. And so I know we've been talking about the numbers and the statistics and all that, right? I mean, we get into that every day, and that's cool. I mean, it's information we need, you know, the schools closing in California and San Diego and the rates in Texas and Florida, South Carolina through the roof. All that stuff is important, as well as to acknowledge and to offer condolences for those families who've lost family members and loved ones to COVID-19. And as I said earlier on my video prior to coming into the studio, acknowledge the families who've lost loved ones to police brutality, because that's still happening right now. Everything that went on with George Floyd and Black Lives Matter, the whole nine, all that stuff still matters. But today I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to really have a conversation with you guys, like family for real, like, you know, how you all are holding up. For the brothers who are listening right now, for the brothers, black brothers, white brothers, Latino brothers, Asian brothers, whatever, how y'all holding up too? Because we know the men lose their jobs first. And black men, you're going to be the last ones to get rehired. You do know that, right? And I see the pictures all around the country of the food lines, people in line for hours, maybe the day before, to be in line to get groceries with their whole families in the car getting the groceries, because they're going to be gone so long. It's almost like a family outing to sit in your car and wait to get your groceries. Wow. So when I ask how you doing, I'm asking, how's your money holding up? I mean, let's talk straight up. How your ends, man? How your finances doing? Are you broke? How many of you all had to move in with your families? How many of your families had to move in with you? For those of y'all who are entrepreneurs like me, I'm feeling the pain. You know, everything was rolling for me too. You know, things were going pretty good. I had the New Year's Eve party. We're getting ready to do the travel club, the whole nine. I invested in the website, all that gone, all that money. Well, not gone, but kind of on hold. But I'm definitely losing money in some other areas. Had to lay off some employees, had to cut some salaries. I mean, I'm doing the same thing you guys are doing. So when I ask you to call in and tell me how you're doing, man, what's up?
Hi, this is Penelope.
Hey, what a name. What's up, Penelope? That's an old school name right there, Penelope. How you doing?
Good, Michael. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, I wanted to check in with the family today. You know, we've been talking about the politics and all the rest of this stuff going on. I just wanted to know how you guys were holding up, how your finances, whether or not your business was doing okay. What's happening with you, Penelope?
So I'm actually in New Jersey, so we've been through a lot.
Yes.
Finally coming through on the other end. I work for a school, so I've been very blessed to be in that environment. But it's a little bit scary because there were talks going on that, you know, if September we didn't go back to school, we weren't sure if we were going to all have our jobs. So a little scary, but I do have a plan B. So my plan B was I used to be a behavioral case manager for many years, so I have that to fall back on. However, you mentioned about being a single moms and dads. It is very hard. I am a single mom, and although my daughter's father has been able to work, and I've been receiving child support, you know,
good for you.
I'm blessed with that, yes. At the same time, having that emotional support of having, you know, one another to, you know, if somebody gets sick or if something's going on, you know, sometimes the emotional support is so vital.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about all the women who are holding it down, because I said there's a lot of real estate ladies who are on my page, and they're closing all the time. But Penelope, I never thought about the fact that many women are missing that emotional support during times like this. Their money's fine, but emotionally they're not doing okay. Great point.
Because it's a very scary time.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you have like the family unit together, that is a blessing.
It is. And look,
So-
I'm not trying to knock the single. Let me talk to you for a second, Penelope. I'm not trying to knock the single women, but I know it's hard doing times like this when women are not in relationships. They just went through 3 months, and I know for a lot of you ladies, y'all been celibate for 7 years, so 3 months is no big deal. So the intimacy is maybe not the issue, but emotional support and intimacy are two different things, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Penelope, thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it. Lori, what's happening? Thanks for calling. Where you calling from, Lori?
I'm calling from Baltimore.
Be more. What's going on?
I'm piggybacking on what Penelope had to say as a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
Financially, I think a lot of us are holding it down. I only have one child, and fortunately, I have a very good job, so it has not affected me financially. But I do believe that emotional support, as a single parent, you don't tend to have that when you are solo.
Yeah, that was really interesting. She kind of snuck me with that one. I thought that was a very good point because, as I said, many of the women who are on my social media page, I guess I'm just fortunate to have some women who are doing well and got their hustle on. They're not really complaining about their money so much, but they are talking about what Penelope just mentioned is about the emotional support. It's not the sex, although I'm sure you all could use a tune-up. But anyway, it's not that. It's just that when you say emotional support, separate that from the sexuality part of it.
Well, I mean, you do have bills, you do have concerns, you have things that you just don't share. You kind of keep those things to yourself, and sometimes it's just the release of, those thoughts that you have, but you don't have that person that you feel like you can share those thoughts with.
So let me ask you
In my
something.
case.
Okay, let me ask you this. Sorry to cut you off. When it comes to having girlfriends, is that different emotional support than having a man?
I think so. Mike, I was raised, my mom used to always say, if you don't want anybody to know your business, then you don't tell it.
Mm-hmm.
I have very good girlfriends, but I don't tell all my business. I'm the girlfriend that listens, but I don't necessarily share my most intimate
Gotcha.
thoughts or concerns. And then one other thing, this pandemic has taught me, and not that I didn't already know it, I started doing this a couple years ago, and I started growing a garden. I can honestly say that I don't really go to the grocery store for much of anything besides fish and chicken. And
you can't grow that, huh?
I can't grow that, but I will say this. The thing that I believe I've been teaching my neighbors and even people I just don't know who ride down, my street and they see this little farm
That's interesting.
in the city that I've created. I grow about 47 vegetables.
Hold on, that's what I was going to ask you. Stand by, Lori. I want to come back and ask you that, and I want to get a little deeper into this emotional support thing because this is where a lot of women are at. And I believe a lot of men too, fellas, let's be honest, we have needs too, is that we're about to go into another lockdown. I'm telling you, we're about to have another 2 or 3 months of having this isolation, and emotional support is going to be bigger than ever. And, of course, a tune-up now and then wouldn't hurt either. Anyway, come back. First of all, I want to know what you're growing. Then I have another question about this emotional support thing.
Okay. I'm growing. If you think about it, I'm growing it. I grow broccoli. I grow cauliflower. I grow Brussels sprouts, eggplant, tomatoes, red and green cabbage, red and green string beans. I grow everything in this little teeny spot that I literally don't have to go to the store right now.
That's amazing. That is amazing. You're like Green Acres over there, girl.
I am. And I'm telling you, my mom used to tell me, she says, as long as you know how to do something with your hands, you will never be without money. I grew up with that thought process. I do a lot of things. I know how to do a lot of things with my hands. And that's what this new generation, they don't know how to do. They know how to Uber eat, but they don't know how to cook.
That's a good point. They don't know how to build. They don't know how to fix. Let me ask you this question. We were talking about Penelope's comment she made about emotional support, and I want to bring you back mainly to talk about this because I think this is really important as I think we're about to go into another lockdown, and then life is not going to be the same for us for another, 8, 9, 10, 12 months. Who knows, right? So when you say emotional support from a man, I'm very curious, what does that sound like and what does that feel like? When a strong woman, ladies, says she wants emotional or would like to have emotional support, what is she talking about from a man?
It could be something as simple as a listening ear. someone that would give just as good as advice as she would give to someone else, but maybe she needs to hear it. Just someone that if there was a gap, that person could stand in that gap. Something like that, I think.
That's interesting to me because, men, our minds go straight to sex. Mine is. And I think that for many of us, we think that when women say emotional support, they mean some form of touching, some form of intimacy, and you're saying, no, that's not it.
Well, for me, I don't want meaningless sex.
Gotcha.
So, that's not. I have a 20-year-old that lives with me that's in college.
Gotcha.
So I can't have people just trampling through my house.
Well, you can go to his house. I'm just saying. But emotional support, all I'm saying is I don't know if women are not being honest, or maybe you all have or don't have needs that we do as men. I don't want to believe that. So when you all say emotional support, but there's no intimacy and no sex, I'm like, really?
No, I'm not saying that every case is a little different.
Yeah.
But I think that we hold out a little bit longer. With that being said.
Yeah, some longer than others. But anyway, I appreciate where you're coming from, Lori. I appreciate it. I'm sorry, Steph. You've been on hold for a minute. How you doing, Steph?
I have. I thought you forgot about me.
I got you. I'm sorry. What's going on?
So I am a mother of 4 children. Mm-hmm. My oldest is 7. My youngest is 1, just to give you kind of an age range. They have been home with me during this quarantine. And I am also a business owner, so I'm a loan signing agent, and thankfully I have been able to work. Mm-hmm. And my husband, because of his line of work, he has not been able to work as much as I have. So I've been pretty much taking care of the kids and working and holding down the house with everything going on. And it's been kind of crazy. So I actually just put my kids in daycare literally a week ago at a trusted place where it's a home daycare to give me kind of a mental break. But, I am still working, and it is hard with everything going on with, the kids.
Hey, Steph. Steph.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you a question. First of all, thanks for calling in. Thanks for being patient and holding on. I miss you guys in Miami on Hot 105, by the way.
We miss you, too.
Yeah, I know having your man at home. I want to talk about your man. And you said he's not working as much, but is he at home working, or is he in and out, or what?
No, he's at home working.
And so the kids are there. You want to get them out, so you get some time out. You're trying to work and you babysitting 24 hours. I get it. And so in situations like this, when you're in a very I don't want to call it unnatural, but this is an unusual place, even for couples to be in who love each other, right? Mm-hmm. Talk to me about that. I mean, you love each other, but what?
It's been a strain on the relationship because you don't have that level of intimacy that you're probably used to because the kids are in your face 24/7 and the stress of the income not being as consistent as it used to be.
Yep.
So it's, the natural stressors that are increased on time 10 level. So it has been a stress on the relationship in that regard.
And we as men, when we're not bringing in as much money, even though we're contributing, our self-esteem starts suffering. That affects our ability to perform intimately. It just does,
Right. Yep.
But we talked about hanging in there through hard times. I made a point how people say those vows through thick and thin, and it's times like this where those vows get tested.
Absolutely. Where you either want to shut the door and kick him out right before you shut the door, or you all both stay inside and you work it out. Whether you got to go on one side of the house to breathe and he goes on the other side of the house, you got to do what you got to do.
So what do you think? I'm going to ask you a question that might be a little personal. You can answer it or not. Do you think y'all going to be all right?
I pray we going to be all right. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, we're working through it. Right now he's home working. I actually live in Inglewood, but I'm from Miami.
Right.
Inglewood, Florida. So he's in Inglewood working right now, and I'm in Miami while the kids are in school. That way he can focus on work and not have to worry about the kids. I got the kids. I'm holding it down. And that we're kind of taking that mental space right now.
Yeah, these are some tough times for a lot of couples. I told you all, man. That's why I asked the question, how your relationship doing? I know a lot of people's money, they'll figure that out, but the relationship part, man, it just adds more dynamics. I'll use that as a kind word to the situation. Stephanie, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it. Family, I'm going to let you all get back to your evenings tonight. I appreciate you all hanging out with me. We got a long way to go. This is going to be a long process, man. I thought that we would get our act together by July at least. And now we're worse off now in July than we were in March. Think about that. Think about how you're going to manage your money in that time. Think how you're going to manage your family, the needs that they have if they're the ones who depend on you or vice versa, and how you're going to manage your relationship. Because now you all are not in the same place as a couple. You know, we talked about Will and Jada yesterday. They're rich. So whatever problems they got, it has nothing to do with money. Imagine having money problems on top of having all the other normal stuff that just comes along with having a relationship and a marriage. It's not easy, and many couples are not going to make it, but I hope that you all do. Hope you see it through. It can be better than ever, all right? Have a good night, everybody. Thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate it. I'll see you on the radio and here on Bazing After Dark tomorrow night. Peace, y'all.